Hi and welcome to today's video. Today I'm here with the next story time, and this time about my weight journey. You know, in the doctor's appointment in the last story time I was mentioned that I have obesity, that I have too much weight, extra weight, and I know all of my weight that I have, the extra weight, is because of illness and side effect of illness, and actually my body protecting me from dying. And I feel like that's hard to believe, but that is how it is. There's so many ways, so many reasons why someone is overweight. Not only one, that someone have bad lifestyle, is lazy, stupid, just wanting to be lazy. Many times is actually an illness behind it. It can be also be a trauma that's not been treated. Also some medicine causes that you put on extra weight, and sometimes you have to keep taking those medicines because of an illness that is worse. So being overweight is not the same as being unhealthy and sick. So it's not always the weight is that is dangerous or bad for you. So sadly I feel like the society have made overweight people the black sheep of the whole society, and it's like okay to fat shame them and be mean to them and just treat them awfully. Like, why? There's no reason to do it. They don't harm anybody else, you know. It's not, you know, they're not doing something bad for someone else, you know. To exist and be big, don't harm anybody. And some of us have to be this weight, and we need to have clothes that fit and look good in any size. That's why the body positivity exists, is to be happy where you are. And I understand that not everyone is unhealthy, and it's a journey. If someone wants to lose weight or need to lose weight, it can take maybe 5 years. I feel like today many want to lose weight too fast, and that is dangerous also, because it didn't take you 1 year, 2 years to weigh 200 kilos or 150 kilos. It took maybe 20 years, you know, so that they can't lose it in just 1 year or 2. And yeah, so I feel like that's why this makes me angry, because I feel like, why is it okay to bully someone that is overweight? I feel like that has become like the worst thing you can ever be. And so for me, I know that it's because of illness, not something else. So, or I have 2 illnesses actually. But that is, we have to learn that not everyone have bad lifestyle. It's not a choice. It's not, and we are, you know, we are not unhealthy because of it. Because I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have diabetes, I don't have any overweight problems. So, and the illnesses I have is not because of the weight either. It's the opposite. I did read, like a few days ago, I did research. I don't remember what I researched. There was something, I don't know, but this says it did write that overweight causing autoimmune system illnesses, but it's the opposite. Autoimmune systems illnesses cause overweight. You have to relearn that, because there is something old too. It's the opposite way, because when you go to a doctor, you maybe had a problem for 10 years, but no one had believed you. And when you go there, they're only looking at your weight, and that is the problem. When it's like a long-term extra problem that come along the way, and that's also for me. So, like the doctor I met in November 2020, you know, he saw me one time after I had been out working, so I was bigger again. So he didn't know me before, you know. That is like, I'm so tired of that, you know, judgment and I see that this causing problem for a lot of people. Like the one I know, she also have ME, and she has become overweight because she can't walk. She needs a wheelchair, and she uses those like electric mopeds like elderly use to get out of the house, because she cannot walk so much. The sick insurance, like, you're too overweight, that's why you can't work. But you know, I can't walk, I can't move, you know, my body is sick, you know, and then you gain weight because your body feel like you cannot move, because then your metabolism will slow down. So they don't see the cost. And I feel like there's normal here, and I think in many places they want to treat the symptom as the illness, and it's just a symptom. Like for me, a side note, that my doctor, I told him that I can't keep a good day rhythm. I'm mostly up at night. He was like, oh, you have disordered sleep pattern or something like that. I was like, yeah, but is that a illness or a symptom? You know, is that a diagnosis or a symptom of something else? Because for me, it is a problem from the illness. Like, I want to go to bed at 11, 10 p.m. and sleep to like 8, 9, you know, but my body don't want to do it. I try my best. There's something wrong in my inner system. My body don't want to do that. So again, you know, it's just a symptom, not the cause. So back to the weight story. I have notes here, that's why I will be looking down, because I have filmed this video like 3 or 4 times, but I feel like I lose track, like I did now, side notes. But you know, I have lived in this for 20 years, and I have been observing, I've been seeing the pattern, like I have seen it, and I've experienced and feel it, and I try to fight it back and try to change it, but my body's like, nope, I'm doing this. But okay, then do that. So first, all of my weight is because of illness and side effect of illness and side illness, actually. So first is that I have lipedema. That came around when I was like 15 years old, and I have read later now that that's common by, I feel like it's a puberty hormonal illness. It comes often around 15 for females. And for me, I did notice that because when I was 13, I was 170 centimeters, so like 5'7". I am the same now, and I weighed 70 kilos. That was I was very fit. I was horseback riding, and I got my own horse at 13. I was very physical active, I was very strong, and all that. So, you know, I was... And then suddenly, between 14 and 15, somewhere, like, I gained 20 kilos. I did notice that during 14, that my clothes was becoming smaller, especially my pants. And it was like my love handles. It was like a bathing ring around my belly, the lower belly. And that we know now that is a typical hormonal thing. The body will do that. And it was very stressful because there was not much stretch pants back then. So I did wear like the Adidas pants with the buttons down the leg, and had the expand like the, you could tie them. The only, like, I feel like the most stretched pants had that you can tie them. The waist was flexible like that. So I had to wear them because I was like, what I'm gonna do? Like the clothes, everything is too small. And it was very scary because I was like, I'm exercising, I'm very, like, I'm living my teenage dream. Like, I was so active, I had friends, and not just home alone, you know. But now it is lipedema. I don't have that diagnosis by doctor because here they don't know much about it yet. So, and I have had a battle with the sick insurance about my life, and with the ME and fibromyalgia, so I feel like I didn't have time to have another battle about that. I will try and do that sometime in the future. And I know now that you can have 3 different levels of lipedema, and I have the light one, and that is mistaken for obesity and overweight, because it's like the fat cells take in water and keep it. So there's some cells that have gone rogue, have become bad and do something. They just keep going. And yes, we have, our bodies have storage that we do gain water weight. But what we think is fat is actually fat cells taking in water. That is our like fast storing system for survival. But that water that water weight the body can take back if we get better. But with the lipedema, the body, that cells don't want to give it back. It's like keeping it. And why, you know, you gain weight, but very slowly. Because I feel like you have, in the beginning, maybe you have 10 cells, you know, maybe who does this. And it takes a while before those cells become bigger and bigger enough that you can really see it. But the 20 kilos that came from between 13 to 15, that went fast. Like 1 year, 2 years. But then it really slowed down after that. But then I did manage to lose 10 kilos, maybe because I got ME instead, and my body started to change with the illness. And I feel like when I was like 16, 17, I was down to 80 kilos. And I stayed there for a while. But then I got ME, and I did start to sleep 24 hours, many times a week. Sometimes 4 times a week I slept for 24 hours. And for us, and for our bodies, that's very bad. Like, that is, I feel like, is the human weakness, that we have a very fast metabolism. Our foods, like our system, is very fast. That's why we need to take sometimes medicine in the morning and evening, because our bodies are so fast. Like 12 hours, our bodies are taking things out. And for us to be the best way, optimal, is to eat every 4 or 5 hours, as long as we're active and awake. Then towards night we can start to slow down. But we need, I have learned that, well, people don't know that, is to do all the cell renewal, all our energy and our, you know, changing the food to the hormones and vitamins and all that. The body do that at night, and that takes a lot of energy. And just keeping us breathing and thinking, that takes about 1700 calories a day. Just keep you alive. The body do what the body is doing all the time. And if I slept for 24 hours, my body didn't get those 700 calories to manage the body. And then my body started to save, like I said. And that is also what women do when we're pregnant. The weight we gain is water weight, is energy for when we then had a baby. Maybe we're sleeping more, we are recovering. The body have that to take as a good storage, and for the inner organ, it's good energy for the inner organs, the brain, just to keep you alive. And that is what my body did, because it's not that I eat too little and I sleep too much. I feel like, okay, you're sick, but you are still, you have to turn down the metabolism. We really have to be careful with the energy that we have, and we have to eat more when I'm awake. And I feel like, my body started to do this maybe a little bit. That's maybe why I went down 10 kilos, because my body did notice that my storage was becoming low. Because also that we all need to have at least 5 kilos of water weight, up to 10 kilos as safety. Because when we had the flu, when we had the stomach flu, we had the extra for the body if you can't drink and eat for a few days. But that is only for a few days. The body can, then if you can't keep the food, or then you have to have help with drop, So my body started to store the most things that I ate. Those hours I was up, the days I was up, my body started to store what I ate, because it knew that I would sleep. And also that would make me hungry, because I have to keep up, the hours I was awake. I have to eat as much as I could to be ready to sleep. So, and this went on for 10 years. In the beginning I slept for 24 hours first, a few times a week, maybe 4 times a week. Then it maybe became 3 times a week, 2 times a week, then every maybe 4 or 5 days, slowly did fade out. But I was still having anxiety and pain. I was fatigued, and that will make my body keep storing. And they have learned that now, if your body is starting to fast store, and that is your belly, your arms, your boobs are for women are fast storing places. And the water weight will not maybe weigh a lot, but you will look bigger. You know, it's more volume than heavy, but it will always put a little bit on the long-term storage that is fat. The fat cells have fat, but mostly do the fat cells take in the water weight, because the water weight, you know, is a lot of salt and important vitamins I think the body needs if you don't eat as much. And I have learned that some bodies do this differently. You know, that's why some people, if they eat too little, they become smaller and smaller. I feel like in the beginning, if you're a person who have trauma and stress, you stop eating because that's how you react. And then you have people who eat when they're stressed. You know, we have different how we do things. But in the end, I feel like most people who are too thin, in the beginning they will also gain weight because the body is trying to protect them. But then they just keep going, and then the body, you know, can't keep up. That's why some people get too thin after a while, because you don't compensate. And, you know, since I did, you know, still, you know, the body did balance it out. And then when I didn't sleep 4 times a week, 24 hours, you know, I was moving more, eating better, so the body could just start to adjust. But it will always put a little bit away to the fat storage. So I will slowly gain weight, and I will get bigger, like the volume. And I did notice that this could go very fast, just a few months. And sometimes I felt like I was like, am I imagining this? Like 3 months ago, I could wear that. Why can't I wear it now? Now it's too small. Then maybe 6 months later, oh, this fit me now. Like, why? And I have been thinking about this many times. Thanks to 2017, I did really experience this when I had clarity. I could really see my body, how it reacted. And I said, okay, now I know. Every time I try to work, have internship, try to go over my limits, I get bad, you know. And then my sleeping comes back. My body starts to store again, because I feel like I have those symptoms of me being bad. I feel like my body have learned to react faster to store each time. You know, I have a flare-up. So I can say that in like when I was 13 I weighed, like I said, 70 kilos, then like 15 I weighed 90 kilos, then 17 I was back down to 80 kilos. Then I know that around 2009 then I started to go over 100 kilos. You imagine, you know, I have the lipedema, the slowly adding on weight. Then I have this survival mode that keeping me alive, starting to slowly save. And so then I think in 2012 I was starting to be over 150 kilos, starting to go towards 120. Because during 2011 I tried to have a boyfriend and a relationship, and I tried to have an internship, and that really broke me down so fast. So I did get really big again. I feel like 2016 I was around 120 kilos, and then came 2017. So the first 6 months I was very slowly just having like socializing, starting to slowly have more, like, call it more activity. First, like 2-3 months I was at a flower boutique. I just was more social. I was there one day, like 2 hours a week, slowly, you know, adding. And then from like March to May I was at the nail salon. But then I needed to have somewhere I could actually do more work, have more like working, we call it, things to do. Because at the nail salon I did just wash, maybe clean a little bit, but I couldn't do much. So, but then I was at Then in June I started at a second-hand store where they have the clothes area with clothes. And then for the first 6 months of 2017 again I was up to 130 kilos. I was like, what? My body was starting to expand so fast. Just because I was out 1 day, 2 days for 2 hours each. Now I feel like when I was at the salon, I did add. I was there 2 times a week. I think I was at Tuesdays and Fridays, and then it went fast. I was there like 2 hours a day, but I was feeling really bad, you know. And I gained 10 kilos just in 6 months, and my volume was starting to be so big. I looked like maybe I was like 6 months pregnant. My body was really retaining water weight. And in end of 2017, I was up to 140 kilos. I looked like I was 9 months pregnant and bursting. I barely could fit behind the steering wheel of a car. I was like, and I was in so much pain because I realized that, you know, since I am expanding like a balloon, my skin is being stretched, you know, to become bigger, you know, and that's why it hurts so much. My whole skin of my whole body has to become bigger. I have a photo from 2017 June, if you want to see it here. I think that was my grandma's 80th birthday. I think you can see I'm in pain, and my face was so swollen, and that dress was becoming too small. That was the last time I could wear it in a few years. And it was horrible, and nobody like understood me. Then I'm, you know, being blamed for being fat, you know. I was like, and being bullied because I'm fat. I was like, but I'm not choosing this, and my body is doing the right thing. But it, you know, it becomes an illness, a problem when the body don't stop. You know, the body's doing this to protect me, but since it has been doing this for 20 years almost, you know, it becomes bad because it's doing too much. It's like it's like, you know, we call it you're killing someone with love because it becomes too much. So yeah, so I was barely fitting behind the steering wheel because I was becoming so like swollen, and I knew that I have lived through this so many times. I have noticed how this works, you know. Now I really like, whoa, this is going so fast. When I was like 13, I wore maybe large XL, like 48-50. That was my sizing for many years. And I feel like it was not until 2012 I was starting to maybe have XL, maybe 1XL. And I have photos from like 2009, you can see here. I showed you photo from the Netherlands when I was there. You can see that I have some at my belly, but the rest of my body is very slim and fit because I was always working out. I was very like, and that most of that muscle mass is very heavy. And for a woman to be fit, we will have water weight, we will have muscle weight, we will have fat weight, and we are allowed to be heavy. If we have good balance of the fat mass, muscle mass, and water weight mass, we will be heavy because we have more storage and more things like that, and that is okay. And the muscles take less space, but they are heavier. And I feel like around 2009, like in those photos, I was above 100 kilos, but I looked maybe I was weighing maybe 80 kilos, you know. But also because I think I have a hourglass body shape, and that is how your body store your storage, like fat, muscles, and the fat and the water weight. My body, you know, store very evenly for thigh, booty, belly, breasts, bust, you know. So if I gain 1 kilo, it will be disputed around my whole body, not only one place. Some people gain only in one place, so you will look a lot bigger, you know. Yeah, so by 2017 I was up to 140 kilos. I looked like 9 months pregnant, and I feel like I did lose 10 kilos within like 2018. I was down to 130 kilos, but I used the storage because I was more moving, because that's why. So I always start to take walks as fast as I can, even if it's just 2 times a month. I try to take walks because it's so important to just help the metabolism back again. So, but I did see my body do this so fast. So before I was like, can I really gain weight that fast, like a clothes size that fast? Because 1 month something fit, then it doesn't fit, then it fit again. I was up and down. But I did see this during 2019 when I went to Stockholm to see Backstreet Boys. And I was there for 4 days in Stockholm. So I went down on Sunday, back home on Wednesday. The concert was on Sunday night already. So, but the rest of the days we were tourism in Stockholm. We walked a lot. So I walked, I think, around 10,000 steps every day, and that's a lot for me. On my average, I walk maybe 3,000, 4,000 a day. At average, the most times. And on day 3, on Tuesday, I was starting to have pain. My feet, everything was just pain. And yeah, so my body was angry because I had been doing too much. So I have this, when I travel, I have a travel outfit I use to go and come back. So I did wear a pair of black leggings, the cotton mix, with stretch. It was from H&M Plus XL. On Sunday they fit perfectly. They were new wash, they fit up to my belly button. I have jeans shorts over. They fit perfectly. So, but on Wednesday, when I was gonna take this on again and pack everything and go home, the leggings was too small. Like they didn't fit above my love handles, because that was my back and love has swelled 1 clothes size, maybe 2 clothes size in just 4 days. I was like, what? And my feet, they was becoming clumps again. So I had with me a pair of sandals, and I had a pair of like booties with heels, and I had with me a pair of ballerinas with gold glitter sequins. And the sandals was too small. The booties had heels on. There was too much for my body to have, my feet to have a heel, and they were too warm because it was 23 degrees Celsius that day. It was like a first summer day for us. Because back in north where I live, it was still colder, only like 12 degrees Celsius. Still, it was very cold that time. So I had to use the ballerinas, but I had to use them as sandals. The sides couldn't fit, but I think I wore them down when I came on Sunday. They fit perfectly on the sides of my feet, But now they were flattened, so I only kept them on my toes and my heel, and they were destroyed because I walked on the sequence of the shoes. But I know the ballerinas were already old, so I feel like maybe they were like 3 years old. So, but still they were destroyed because I had to, like, that's how big my feet was in just 4 days. So I realized I haven't been imagining that I can gain weight in 1 month or 2 months and then go back again, because my body, and I realized my body do that to protect me. It noticed that my energy level is becoming dangerously low. I feel like it creates the pain because it will be harder for me to walk, so I might stop, so don't do that. So I feel like it's something like that. It's a protecting system also. And it took me like 1 week to recover from 4 days in Stockholm. Like the first 4 days from Wednesday to Sunday, I was not walking a lot at all. I was just like resting. And my feet and body was back in like 1 week after. So, and that was only 4 days. So I realized like how fast my body do that, So then, that was 2019. I was starting to learn my body more and more. And when I met the doctor back in 2020, I was still bigger, you know, I still had a lot of water volume. My belly was maybe down to maybe, I feel like my body was down maybe to like, my belly was maybe only like 7 months pregnant. But I was still, had a lot on me. The weight was still the same, 130 kilos, and that is the same still today. But then in 2022, the water volume just started to just come off me. Like, I could see it, and actually at the daily activity also, like, what, you are losing weight, you look so slim. I was like, yeah, my leg, my everything was just like so small again. I was like, what is this? But imagine, it took it 4 years to start to really release this, you know. And actually the sick insurance were talking about in 2020 and 2018-19 that I was gonna do a stomach reducing surgery, that I was eating too much. I was like, I'm not eating too much, like, my body do this because it's the stress. My body have learned that this is not good for me, it's protecting me. And they're talking about surgery. I was like, I don't need that, like, I'm not eating too much. And luckily my doctor has known me for many years, and he knows that he has seen my body in different places. He feel like he understood that my weight is because of my body and the illness, you know. He said that, no, she don't need a surgery, that's not her problem. Even in March 2023 they mentioned this, my weight. I was like, it's not a problem. I told her I'm already smaller because I'm not stressed. I'm not. Every time I try to work, I gain weight because it's painful for my body. It's too much for my body. Like, please understand, you know. And now it's 2024. I'm still losing water weight a lot, and not much weight actually. I'm still at 130 kilos. But I feel like I have a lot of long time storage with the fat mass, and I have a lot of muscle mass since I work out. So that's why I'm heavier. But I feel like still my body has so much water weight or volume to take from before it can start to take from the weight, you know, because the body will take from the fat cells also. But what we have to think about, everybody needs about 5 kilos of water weight, because that is safety when we get the flu. You know, if we get the flu or cold or stomach flu, or we get bad for a few days, we need to have that extra, the body to have the energy to help you get through. But if you cannot eat and drink for a few days, then you have to go to hospital, because then the body have used up that storage. And I feel like when my body maybe is that only 10 kilos, 5 kilos of water. I feel like also they said that it's okay to have up to 10 kilos of water weight. Is still okay to have that much. And I feel like my body, well, when my body feel like we have maybe 5 kilos of water weight as we should have, then maybe my body will start to take from the long-term storage when I exercise and stuff like that. But I know that one time maybe I need to have skin removal surgery, because my belly is mostly skin and the bad lipedema. Because lipedema is that your belly feels like a bad pillow. If you have a pillow that where the stopping have been like in different areas, it's like a ball, and it's very thin in between, then you have tighter stopping balls. That's how my belly feels. And you know, it looks like I have been pregnant maybe 3 times. You know, my skin have been really expanding. Like now, my belly is that I can fit a small ball in between the steering wheel of a car. I fit perfectly in a car now, and it's a big change. But still, yeah. So we really have to relearn to be kind to people, because someone like for me, you know, I'm sick, and my weight have been caused by sickness, illness, and still I'm being, you know, called for being fat and lazy, and I'm eating too much. I have to learn to restrict myself, balance myself, you know. Like, it's not my fault. Like, I'm not causing this. I'm trying to survive it. And so it's sad because I haven't chosen this. I haven't had control of my body since I was 15 years old, when I started to do things itself, and that's very scary. Like, You just have to do what it wants to do and learn to understand it. And I have done that now many times. Like, okay, I understand you. And when I do that, I start to lose weight. And at least like this one I have on now. This is like H&M Plus 3XL. When I bought this, I think back in 2018, this I couldn't close this at all. I just had it open with a black t-shirt under. Now, you know, you can see that it has air, like it is big. And that is like 5 years difference now, more. Like this, my arms was too tight in this. My arms was like so tight in this that it was hurting me. But it was lucky that I was at the second-hand store with clothes, because I was unpacking and sorting clothes, and I found 2 trash bags with clothes with like 2XL, 3XL, and I needed that back then. You know, I went from my XL to 3XL becoming too small. I was lucky I found that. I didn't take all of that. I think there maybe was like 20 clothes, maybe more. I chose like 10, I think, because I feel like I wanted to sell, to have for more people who needed big clothes like me. But I needed clothes too, you know. And then I needed shoes. I had like size 41. Then I was a size 42. But during 2017, I went up to almost 43. My toes was like almost not visible, because my foot was so swollen. The toes was like just sticking out a little bit. It's insane how much our bodies. I read that you can have like 20 kilos of only water weight. So I think that's what I want to talk about with my weight journey. And imagine people who is not lucky enough like me, who have, that I can have sick leave, I can have sick pension, I have doctors, I have healthcare available for me. Many countries don't have that, so I'm lucky that I can heal and be good. But I feel like people who are still in this cycle, like I was in stress, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they be called for being lazy, when it's not. It's probably the same system as my body is in, because you had a trauma. You have a trauma in your life for many years, and you never get a break from it. So I just saw a video from like I think it was from Drew Barrymore's show. She said that she just said that she can gain like cortisol overweight. Her belly can expand in just so fast when she's stressed. Same thing, like that is our stress hormone. So when you have that, your body will react, because my body has learned that this is danger. Save, you know, save now. This is danger. You have to. I feel like each time this happened to me, my body got faster and faster to help me, to save me. Because I feel like in the beginning, my body was behind. You know, okay, what is this? What? You have to fix things, and our brains and bodies will want to never be behind. It always want to be a few steps before us or ahead of us. So yeah, so now I have to deal with this. I don't want to do a surgery. I think I might need it in the future. But right now my body is still in recovery, and surgery is very hard on my body. So and I will think, or I want to see how much my body can do by itself. So, because I feel like if they would take away the skin and my lipedema, water belly, I would maybe lose like 10 kilos or something like that, just from that. And that is like, I have to keep up with. It's not my fault, you know, this is illness and sickness, and but you know, this, you know, I'm bigger and bigger. That becomes an illness, since my body have to keep doing it. You know, it is killing me with love. The body, I don't understand it. It can stop now. You just have the same program, you know, in the mix. So it would maybe take to say that with this, if the body have once started to save, to protect you, it's very difficult to come off that. So I'm still fighting that, because my body wants to feel safe. It wants to feel that it can stop, you know. But mine have been on and off for 10-20 years, so that I will see how it, if I can find someone who can understand this. And I think that's why they are doing research to help the body stop doing this, because you know it becomes an illness because you become too big to move, to do things, you know, to drive, and then it becomes a bad thing or not a fun thing. But we have to learn that not everyone is because they don't have self-control or they have bad habits. It's just illness. So that's the story time about my weight. We'll see what my next story time will be. Thanks so much for watching. Hope I see you next time. Bye!